Good morning, future business leaders. This is Ma'am Marife S. Laguren Estelora once again. Today we will be learning one of the most important lessons in art appreciation, the Artpreneur Project. Topic, elements and principles of art. Topic, outline. Line, shape, space, value, color, texture, and form. The principles of art, balance, contrast, emphasis, movement, pattern, rhythm, and unity. The elements of art and the principles of design serve as the foundation for understanding and creating visual artwork. These components provide artists with a structure to express meaning, emotion, and beauty. Let's explore each element in detail. Elements of art. The elements of art are the fundamental building blocks that artists use to create their works. They can be combined, repeated, or altered to achieve various effects in visual composition. A line is a mark that connects 2 points, creating a visual path for the viewer's eye. Lines can vary in thickness, direction, and style, influencing the tone and impact of an artwork. They help create shapes, textures, and forms, define space, emphasize focal points, and guide the viewer's gaze. Example, Autumn Rhythm by Jackson Pollock. This painting showcases energetic, dynamic lines using dripping and splattering techniques. Types of lines. Straight lines imply stability and order. Curved lines suggest movement and softness. Zigzag lines express energy and chaos. Vertical lines represent strength and authority. Horizontal lines evoke calmness and stability. Diagonal lines create a sense of tension and movement. B-shape. A shape is a two-dimensional area enclosed by lines or edges. Shapes can be geometric, organic, or free-form, contributing to structure, balance, and harmony in a composition. Unlike forms, which are three-dimensional, shapes are flat and help organize space in an artwork. Example, The Builders by Jacob Lawrence. This painting uses bold, geometric shapes to emphasize movement and teamwork. Types of shapes. Geometric shapes, precise and regular, e.g. circles, squares, triangles. Organic shapes, irregular and natural, e.g. leaves, clouds, stones. Free-form shapes, abstract and unstructured. C. Space. Space refers to the areas within, around, or between objects in an artwork. It plays a crucial role in creating depth and perspective. Artists manipulate space to establish relationships between objects and focus points in a composition. Example, The Two Fridas by Frida Kahlo. This painting utilizes positive and negative space to highlight emotional tension and isolation. Types of space. Positive space, the occupied areas of an artwork. Negative space, the empty areas surrounding objects. Depth, the illusion of three-dimensionality achieved through overlapping, size variation, and perspective. D. Value. Value refers to the lightness or darkness of a color. It creates contrast, enhances form, and adds depth to an artwork. Strong contrast between light and dark can highlight focal points, while soft transitions create mood and atmosphere. Example, Judith beheading Holofernes by Artemisia Gentileschi. The dramatic contrasts of light and shadow intensify the realism and emotion of the scene. Tints, tones, and shades. Tints, lighter values, adding white. Tones, medium values, adding gray or complementary colors. Shades, darker values, adding black. E-color. Color is the perception of light waves reflected from objects. It influences mood, symbolism, and the overall impact of an artwork. The three main properties of color are hue, color name, value, lightness or darkness, and intensity, brightness or dullness. Warm colors, reds, yellows, convey energy, while cool colors, blues, greens, evoke calmness. Example, Untitled, Skull by Jean-Michel Basquiat. This artwork uses color contrast to highlight the subject's form and symbolism, exploring themes of mortality and transience. These elements form the foundation of artistic expression, shaping how artists communicate meaning and emotion in their works. Color wheel, a tool used to understand color relationships. The wheel is divided into primary colors, red, blue, yellow, secondary colors, orange, green, purple, and tertiary colors, yellow, orange, red, orange, etc. Red, passion, love, danger, anger, power. Example, Edvard Munch, The Scream, 1893, Henri de Toulouse-Lautrec, The Bed, 1893. Orange, energy and extravagance. Example, Ferdinand Dupuy-Godot, Sailboats at Sunset, 1864 to 1930, Albert Moore, Reading Aloud, 1884. Blue, calm, peace, sadness, trust, spirituality. Example, Claude Monet, Water Lilies, Pablo Picasso, The Old Guitarist, Yellow, happiness, energy, caution, optimism. Example, Vincent van Gogh, sunflower. Paul Gauguin, the yellow Christ. Green, nature, growth, health, envy, tranquility. Example, Paul Cézanne, Mont Saint-Victoire with large pine. Sir Anthony van Dyck, Margaret Smith, wife of Thomas Carey. Purple, royalty, luxury, mystery, spirituality. Example, Paul Signac, the Papal Palace, Avignon. Georgia O'Keeffe, Purple Leaves. Black, power, elegance, death, mystery, rebellion. Example, Pedro Nunes del Valle, Jail in Sisera. Rembrandt van Rijn, The Night Watch. White, purity, innocence, peace, simplicity. Example, Ari Scheffer, The Temptation of Christ. Pablo Picasso, Guernica. Color harmonies. Combinations of colors that are pleasing to the eye, including complementary, colors opposite each other on the color wheel, such as red and green. Analogous, colors next to each other on the wheel, like blue, blue-green, and green. Monochromatic, variations of one hue with different values and intensities. Triadic, three colors that are evenly spaced on the wheel, like red, yellow, and blue. Texture. Texture refers to the surface quality of an artwork, how something feels or appears to feel. It can be tactile, actual texture, or visual, implied texture. Texture adds depth and richness to a composition. It can also convey a sense of realism or emphasize particular features of the work. Artists often use different techniques, e.g., brushstrokes layering, to imply texture and heighten visual interest. Example, American Gothic by Grant Wood. The detailed rendering of the figure's clothing, skin, and wooden house gives a strong sense of texture, enhancing realism. Types of texture. Actual texture. The real texture that you can feel, such as the roughness of a stone sculpture. Implied texture. The illusion of texture created by the artist, such as a painting of a rough rock surface. Form. Form is a three-dimensional object with volume and thickness. Forms have depth, width, and height and can be physical, as in sculpture, or implied, as in drawing or painting. Form is crucial for creating the illusion of three-dimensionality in two-dimensional art. In sculpture, form is tangible and three-dimensional, while in paintings or drawings, artists use shading, perspective, and texture to simulate form. Example, The Thinker by Auguste Rodin. The sculpture showcases the power of form by emphasizing the physical presence and deep contemplation of the figure. Types of forms. Geometric forms, like cubes, spheres, pyramids, and cones. Organic forms. Free form and irregular shapes, such as those found in nature, clouds, trees, human bodies. Principles of design. The principles of design are guidelines that help artists use the elements of art effectively. These principles help ensure the composition of the artwork is balanced, dynamic, and communicates the artist's intended message. Balance. Balance refers to the distribution of visual weight in an artwork. A balanced composition feels stable and harmonious, while an unbalanced composition can create tension or drama. Example, Liberty Leading the People by Eugène Delacroix. The central figure of Liberty is strategically placed to create balance, while the chaotic battle scene surrounding her adds movement and drama. Types of balance. Symmetrical balance. Both sides of the composition are identical or nearly identical, creating a formal, orderly feel. Asymmetrical balance. Different visual weights on either side of the composition, but still visually balanced through color, shape, and contrast. Radial balance. Elements are arranged around a central point, radiating outward. This type of balance is often seen in circular designs or mandalas. This is the exact text you provided. B. Contrast. Contrast involves the juxtaposition of different elements to highlight their differences and create visual interest. It can be achieved by placing light against dark, rough against smooth, or large against small. Contrast adds drama, directs attention, and enhances legibility. It can be used to emphasize particular elements of a composition. Example, Joseph's bloody coat brought to Jacob by Diego Velázquez. The stark contrast between light and dark enhances the emotional weight of the scene, making the subjects more dramatic and impactful. C. Emphasis. Emphasis is the area in an artwork that draws the viewer's attention first. This could be a focal point, such as a bright color, large shape, or area of high contrast. Emphasis directs the viewer's gaze and gives importance to a particular element or concept in the artwork. Example, Lunch Atop a Skyscraper by Charles Ebbets. This iconic photograph captures construction workers casually eating lunch on a steel beam high above New York City. The composition emphasizes the workers as the focal point, contrasting their relaxed demeanor with the dizzying height below. D. Movement. Movement refers to the way the viewer's eye is directed around the composition. Movement creates a sense of action or progression. Artists use lines, shapes, and patterns to lead the viewer's eye through the artwork in a deliberate manner. Example: Dancing Lady by Fernando Amorsolo. Amorsolo's use of flowing fabrics and dynamic poses in his depictions of Filipina dancers captures a strong movement. The graceful curves and positioning of the subject guide the viewer's eye, making it an excellent representation of movement. Types of movement can be real, as in the motion of a dancer, or implied, through lines or repeated patterns leading the viewer's eye. Pattern. Pattern involves the repetition of visual elements such as shapes, lines, or colors. Patterns create unity, rhythm, and harmony within a composition. They can also emphasize a particular area or create texture. Example: Islamic tilework or the Great Wave off Kanagawa by Katsushika Hokusai. Islamic tilework features intricate, repeating geometric patterns that create a structured and harmonious design. Hokusai's Great Wave also shows repeating wave patterns, reinforcing a rhythmic visual effect. Types of patterns can be regular, predictable repetition, or irregular, unexpected repetition. E. Rhythm. Rhythm refers to the repetition or alternation of elements to create a sense of movement or flow. It's similar to musical rhythm, where certain beats repeat at regular intervals. Rhythm adds dynamism and flow to an artwork, helping to guide the viewer's eye through the composition in a rhythmic manner. Example: Broadway Boogie Woogie by Piet Mondrian. This artwork showcases rhythmic repetition through its structured yet lively arrangement of colored rectangles, mimicking the energy of a city. The alternating colors and lines create a visual beat similar to musical rhythm. F. Unity. Unity is the sense that all elements of the artwork are in harmony with one another, forming a cohesive whole. Unity ensures the work doesn't feel disjointed or chaotic. It creates a sense of completeness and balance between all the elements. Example: Planting Rice by Fernando Amorsolo. This painting demonstrates unity by harmonizing colors, lighting, and composition. The warm golden hues unify the elements, and the farmers working together reinforce the theme of community and cohesion. Write your name using the font presented on the screen for our activity next week to get the attendance points. Study for the activity. Thank you for listening. Let me know if you need anything else.